increases, we still offer the best personal service you deserve. Click on my icon on DeWittDailyNews.com.
Are you a good listener? Has anyone ever accused you of being a problem solver? Do you get a thrill out of having people say yes to you? If so, the Miller Media Group would like to talk to you. Here at the Miller Media Group, we have a ton of fun helping businesses grow, and we could use some more help. So if you or someone you know has marketing and advertising experience or any of the previously mentioned skills and wants the opportunity to earn with commissions over $50,000 a year, send your resume to sales@randyradio.com. That's sales@randyradio.com. The Miller Media Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, this is Todd Gleason from Illinois Extension here with a time change for our daily market report on WHOW. You can now catch our daily review of the commodity markets at 5:06 on all of WHOW's many platforms. You'll still hear all of our commodity analysts and weather professionals each afternoon, but at a brand new time. And you'll still hear the weekly wrap-up of the commodity markets right here on WHOW when Commodity Week airs Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. Remember the time change for the daily closing market report on WHOW at our new time, 5:06 p.m. weekdays.
Do you know what to do when a car is pulled over on the side of the road?
Get over!
First, reduce your speed. Second, change lanes if possible. Third, proceed with caution. These 3 simple steps can be the difference between life and death.
What if it's you that's on the side of the road? Do you want everybody to move over for you?
Do the right thing. Slow down, move over, and drive like your life and their life depends on it.
News time, 8 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Thursday. Thanks for being with us this morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast streaming to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. Clinton Police Chief Ben Lowers is reacting to the Tuesday decision by the Illinois Supreme Court to uphold the safety legislation and the elimination of cash bail. At the Tuesday night Clinton City Council meeting, Chief Lowers told the council there's already an issue with releasing criminals back on the streets after they've committed a crime, but it's only going to get worse.
Today, the Supreme Court ruled on the Safety Act, specifically the elimination of cash bail in the state of Illinois, which is going to have a very significant impact, not only here in Clinton, but statewide. You know, we're constantly trying to defend our position to the public, you know, when we're dealing with criminal behavior and stuff of that nature, and those people are right back out on the street. And that's only, I think that's only going to be impacted even greater by the elimination of cash bail, and being able to incarcerate people for crimes, you know, quite frankly, the most common crimes that we deal with. With the elimination of cash bail, obviously there are some offenses that there is no bail for, and they'll be incarcerated and they don't have the option to post bail. But the things that we deal with on a fairly consistent basis, quite frankly, it will eliminate the option of us having them incarcerated. So a lot of inner workings between our law enforcement agencies and the state attorney's office and courts and stuff, but that I believe takes effect in the middle of September. So between that and media and whatnot, it's going to have a significant impact, of course. So
the ruling on the safety legislation came on a vote of 5-2. Tuesday night at the Clinton Board of Education meeting, the final piece to the district leadership team was hired. Becca Novak-Ewell was named the assistant principal of Clinton Elementary School, rounding out the building's leadership. On the WHOW morning show Wednesday, Superintendent Kurt Nettles told Regional Radio it has been a busy summer full of change for the district.
You know, we've talked about this. You know, Ben Mooney finds a place closer to home, and Sasha goes to that next step to be a superintendent. And you're like, great. Okay, now you're looking around. It's like, we have no administration at this building. So we went through the interviewing process like we always do. I think the interesting thing is, and a lot of people are apprehensive about 2 new administrators in the building. You know, the teachers are all like holding their breath a little bit here. But the cool thing is we have found an experienced principal in Kelly Morrison. Kelly's got a lot of great experience coming from Decatur, real smart, has just a lot of great experience, background like Kara has. Then the assistant principal, who the board approved last night, Becca Novak-Ewell, is somebody that has worked with Kelly for 4 years. They've been working together in the same building alongside each other for 4 years. Now, Becca wasn't the assistant principal in title, but it kind of seems like she was. So now she gets that official title. So those two are going to be teaming up for us and bring a lot of great ideas for leadership for CES. And along with Kara working with them, I think we're in for a good way. I mean, yeah, is it going to be weird? Is it going to be a little different? It is. Ben and Sasha are gone. Kelly and Beck are in. Kara's here. I'm going to be leaving at the end of the year. It's just, things are changing. It'll be a little bit different going forward.
According to Nettles, Novak-Ewell has applied for other positions within Clinton schools, and unfortunately, it has not ever worked out until now.
A little bit of it was just circumstances, but part of it is that Becca, we have talked to her before. So she's been in our interview process for administration before, and we thought she's really smart. We felt like she had a lot of great qualities and a lot of great experiences. She ran into competition with a buzzsaw named Jessica Patrick, who will be at Lincoln and Douglas principal. And Jessica had run through our interview process a couple of times too. So sometimes that's the route you take to get into our district. So I think our interview process, which I've tried to hone over the last number of years, we've kind of got it to where we want to sell ourselves to our candidates as much as them trying to sell themselves to us. So if it is a good fit, we want the candidate to feel good about accepting the position and not be reluctant in any way.
The new administrators will have a chance to get to know their building staff at a meet and greet coming up at the Vault in Clinton. Nettles indicates many teachers and staff have already reached out with introductory messages.
That's a great question. So some have already met them. Some have taken the initiative, and I think Kelly has put out some calls to a few people to get some questions answered as well. But we are planning on July 31st, Monday afternoon, evening reception for them at the Vault to have the staff that haven't met them or staff that have to come back to come in, meet with them, get to introduce, and let Kelly and Becca make some comments and just spend some time together.
Clinton Elementary School suddenly found itself without any administration in late May after the departures of Ben Mooney and Sasha Young. Nettles touts the experience of the two administrators and believes the skills they bring will allow for excellent student achievement. The new body shop at Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton is taking shape. Owner Scott Baum tells Regional Radio News crews from local contractor Dave Waters Construction are making progress.
We're making pretty good progress. We did get all of the white metal up, and we do have the blue entry that's up right now. So that was the last thing that was done on the outside. The inside's going well. It's insulated, and our new paint booths are going to be installed the 1st of August. So we're making headway.
Baum adds the new facility will be beneficial for both employees and customers.
That's our main objective, both of it. For the employees, it was really hard to write estimates. It was hard getting the cars in to work on them. And the parking lot was not very convenient for both. This allows us to be more efficient. We have all our employees in one building, where before we had all of them in 4 buildings.
Baum is hoping they'll be in the new body shop this fall.
We're looking at, I never give a target date because I'm always waiting on other people. Our best guess is going to be middle of September.
And Baum says the present Baum Chevrolet Buick body shop will be torn down and turned into a parking lot. As the state Supreme Court gives the go-ahead on the elimination of cash bail, Illinois Republicans want changes. State Republican Minority Leader John Curran says there needs to be a special legislative session called to address their concerns.
Well, I mean, then the law goes into effect, and we're going to be coming in after the fact, making further amendments to address and clean up some of the bad outcomes from the implementation of this act. I would rather try to get as much of that addressed beforehand to minimize any bad outcomes than to be coming in after the fact.
During the last veto session, the legislature made changes to include more charges that would require detainment, including reckless homicide, involuntary manslaughter, child abduction, child endangerment, and much more. Judges also have the ability on felony charges to hold someone if they determine the defendant's release poses a threat to the safety of a person or the community. Concerns continue about the state's health care program for undocumented immigrants. Emergency rules requested by the governor are freezing the program for low-income immigrants between ages 42 and 64 and are capping the number of seniors that can get coverage. At Legislative Rules Committee hearing this week, Senator Christina Castro of Elgin says there needs to be more communication about the changes.
I think for this population, the closure is very difficult for many of them. And I think some of them want to know that this is not the department ending the program, right? Because right now, some view it as you're ending the program. It's a backdoor way to end it.
Representative Eva Dina Delgado of Chicago said the same.
Hearing from the folks that have been impacted, that are going to be impacted by this, it's something that is causing a lot of uncertainty. They don't know what to expect. And so it's affecting individuals who are currently enrolled in the program. So I would highly recommend that information be shared.
Lawmakers asked what has been done to let enrollees know about the new copays and move to managed care as well. Others called for public hearings if the rules are made permanent and says the program puts too big of a strain on the state's finances. Governor J.B. Pritzker is wrapping up a trade delegation tour in the United Kingdom and says a great deal of opportunity has opened up as a result of the trip. He and members of the delegation have been visiting with government, business, and education leaders. They've talked to people in a number of industries, including clean energy, hospitality, manufacturing, and quantum technology.
I have to say the meetings with the quantum leaders here in the UK and bringing our quantum leadership from Illinois reinforced for me that Illinois and Chicago in particular are leaders in the world.
He spoke to who they were particularly interested in the state's clean energy goals and education and workforce training initiatives.
And that's exciting to me because it feels like you're winning over a new customer, so to speak, right? A new trading partner, a new investor in the state of Illinois. And I've seen, a reasonable amount of that during particularly my one-on-one meetings.
The governor says he and the Minister of State, Nigel Huddleston, have committed to boosting trade and investment between each other's economies. News streams to Facebook and YouTube brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Coming up on 19 minutes after the hour, a look at local sports is next.
Your own home without the maintenance. If you're 55 or better, a beautiful Liberty Village villa could be yours. This is Erin, and I invite you to come take a tour of our move-in ready villa. Click the Liberty Village icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Simply the finest. DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Tuning into the baseball game, monitoring the incoming storm, catching your favorite talk show. These are just a few of the reasons more than 80 million Americans depend on AM radio each month. And did you know AM radio is the backbone of the emergency alert system? It's reliable, free, and public safety depends on it. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress we need AM radio in cars.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Central Illinois' leading online source for local news, police blotter, for the record information, obituaries, and more is DeWittDailyNews.com. Since 2008, DeWittDailyNews.com has delivered fresh, online content to internet readers. From the City Council, to School Board, to the County Board, and more, DeWittDailyNews.com covers the local news you expect from the area's #1 local news source, and it's all absolutely free. Now you have even more ways to access DeWittDailyNews.com. Whether you're at your desktop, laptop, tablet, iPhone, or smartphone, DeWittDailyNews.com is delivered to all those platforms. That's right. It's even there on your iPhone and smartphone. The same local news, weather, and sports that's on the full-size edition is on your iPhone and smartphone just by going to DeWittDailyNews.com. If you haven't tried it, why don't you? Go to Central Illinois' leading online source for local news, police blotter, for the record information, obituaries, and more on your desktop, laptop, iPhone, or smartphone, DeWittDailyNews.com.
SRN Sports, I'm Michael Harrington. We're going to start with baseball, of course. American League, Angels, they wrapped up a sweep of the Yankees last night.
Taylor Ward and Luis Rengifo each hit 2-run homers as the Angels bolted out to a 6-0 lead after just 3 innings. Chase Silseth struck out 10 over 5 2/3. He gave up just 1 run. Yankee starter Carlos Rodon allowed 6 runs. The Angels sweep the series from the Yanks, who struck out a combined 42 times over the 3 games.
That's correspondent Mark Myers reporting. Moving on to the rest of the action yesterday, it was the Rangers over Tampa Bay 5-1. The A's beat the Red Sox again 6-5. This time it was Detroit 3, Kansas City 2, and the Twins over Seattle by a 6-3 score. Moving on to the National League, Cardinals 6, Miami 4. The Reds got the better of the Giants. Final there was 3-2. This is SRN Sports. More baseball tallies from last night in the National League. Brewers 5, Phillies 3. Arizona got the better of Atlanta by the same score, with the Cubs over the Nationals 8-3. Interleague play, Pirates 7, Cleveland 5. The Orioles beat the Dodgers 8-5. Houston 4, Colorado 1. The Mets down the White Sox 5-1. It was the Padres 2 and Toronto 0. NFL news, Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets report for training camp Wednesday. Massive expectations, plenty of cameras watching their every move as well. They've got Super Bowl goals and are subject to this year's Hard Knocks TV series, adding to what was already expected to be a summer in the spotlight. Cornerback DJ Reed says the energy feels different from last year. There's more excitement around the team. Defensive tackle Quinnen Williams says Rodgers brings a spark to everybody. Jets are trying to end a 12-year postseason drought. This is SRN Sports.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. As the July competitive 7-on-7 season begins to wind down, high school football teams will start assessing where they are as we get ever closer to the August 6th first official day of fall football practice. For Shelbyville football coach Bill Duckett, this July has been about getting an inexperienced group of receivers reps with their starting quarterback.
I think, especially for young guys that hadn't, played varsity ball the year before, it's good just kind of getting some timing with quarterbacks. We've been lucky to have some really good quarterbacks since I've taken over the program. Really, really good quarterbacks, and so just getting timing down is great. Just getting a number of reps and catching the ball a bunch. We've been pretty good offensively in terms of our passing game, so I think definitely holds some weight there. But it still all starts up front. Those linemen, they're back to school lifting right now.
According to Coach Duckett, his Rams football team graduated a lot of skill players, and so he notes they are keeping things simpler this summer as they get some new faces caught up to speed on their playbook.
Yeah, maybe in terms of the concepts, keeping it a little bit more simple, just getting through the basic stuff. Last year we had a lot of returning receivers, so they kind of knew what to expect in terms of some of the more advanced route tree that we run. But with a lot of these young guys, they were our JV receivers last year, and it's not quite as complex, so we kind of got to start a little bit simpler level. We do return all of our line, quarterback, tight end, fullback. So offensively, our run game, for the most part, will stay intact. And those guys are excited about that up front. Defensively, we feel like we've got some good returners, both our middle linebackers, some defensive lineman returns. So up front, we return a lot of guys, and they're getting a lot of good reps and just getting better. And so that's going to be a big part of our team this year.
The Rams went 8-2 last year, however, had a disappointing exit in the first round of the IHSA 2A playoffs, losing to 14-seed Althoff Catholic in the first round. In a game heard here on WHOW, Justin Verlander pitched 8 vintage innings. Rookie Brett Beatty homered during an impressive all-around game as the Mets cruised to a 5-1 victory over the Chicago White Sox. All-star slugger Luis Robert Jr. homered with 1 out in the 7th for the Pale Hose.
White Sox fall to the Mets in Game 2 of a 3-game series, 5-1 the final. On the offense for the White Sox, a home run by Luis Robert Jr., number 28 of the season against Justin Verlander.
Swinging a towering fly ball left field. It'll go. Luis Robert Jr. gets the Sox on the board.
That was all the Sox could get off Verlander. He went 8 innings, allowed just that 1 run, and struck out 7 en route to a win for the White Sox. Touki Toussaint went 6 innings and gave up 5 in the loss. The White Sox will play the final game of 3 against the Mets on Thursday afternoon. It's a 12:10 first pitch with an 11:30 pregame show. You can catch it all here on the Hard Rock Casino White Sox Network.
The White Sox return to the WHOW airwaves Friday when they begin a series with the Twins. Nolan Gorman hit a 3-run homer and had 4 RBIs, helping the Cardinals beat the Marlins Wednesday 6-4 for their second series sweep this season. Nolan Arenado's RBI single and Gorman's 19th homer helped build a 4-0 lead in the first inning off Cy Young Award winner Sandy Alcantara, and the Marlins' losing streak reached a season-high 6 games. Gorman added a run-scoring single in the 7th against Huskar Brazaban, and another run scored on third baseman John Birdie's throwing error. Cardinals starter Dakota Hudson allowed 2 runs and 5 hits in 3 innings. Steven Matz starts the opener of a 4-game series Thursday against the Cubs. Marcus Stroman gets the ball for Chicago. Matz went 3 1/3 scoreless innings of relief last time he faced the Cubs on June 24th in London. Nico Horner capped Chicago's 5-run 8th inning with his first career grand slam, helping the Cubs beat the lowly Nationals 8-3 Wednesday night. Mike Tauchman homered and drove in 3 as Chicago earned its second straight win after dropping the opener of the 3-game series Monday night. Kyle Hendricks pitched 6 innings of 1-run ball. The Cubs announced they had agreed to contracts with 10 more players from this year's amateur draft, including infielder Josh Rivera, the 3rd-round pick, as well as Will Sanders, the team's 4th-round pick. The team has agreed to deals with 9 of its first 10 picks and 17 of 20 overall. Marcus Stroman starts the opener of a 4-game series tonight against the Cardinals. Steven Matz gets the ball for St. Louis. Get sports anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Summer is here, and that means allergies, pink eye, rashes, and earaches. CEO Paul Scourin here from Warner Hospital and Health Services, here with the solution. Come to our walk-in clinic inside Family Medicine at Warner Hospital and Health Services in Clinton. From summertime allergies and rashes to earaches and even sports